In this episode of Falmouth in Focus, we get an important update on the status of the Eastern Equine Encephalitis virus in Falmouth. Stop by Falmouth's Emergency Preparedness Fair and learn about a nonprofit that assists homeless children in Falmouth. All this and much more on this edition of Falmouth in Focus.
Hello and welcome to Falmouth in Focus, FCTV's current affairs program. I'm your host, Michael Kasparian. Eastern Equine Encephalitis, or EEE, is an illness that is carried by several species of mosquitoes. And if just one of those mosquitoes bites a person, the results can be catastrophic. Positive samples found in Falmouth resulted in truck spraying earlier this summer, but the risk level will not drop below moderate until the first hard frost.
I'm Scott McGann, the health agent for the town of Falmouth. Well, EEE is a very serious illness. It was first discovered in humans back in the 1930s. It's named Eastern Equine Encephalitis because it was first found to be a disease that horses obtained. And there's been about 100 to 150 cases roughly since the 1930s. It's a cyclical basis, usually every sort of 8 to 10 years we get a sort of a round of EEE. It's not been on the Cape, it's generally in Bristol County, Norfolk County, and through that area. This is the first year where we've detected any mosquitoes with EEE. So Cape Cod Mosquito Control Project has the rights to treat as needed through a contract that's decades old with all the different towns on the Cape. So each district has its own mosquito control project. They're the experts, they're the ones that go out and treat the water bodies regardless of the year, whether the risk is high or not, or immediate risk or not for EEE. They're always out there treating the water bodies and testing mosquitoes for West Nile and for EEE. They have the authority to spray, but they generally will ask a town whether the town agrees to do some spraying. So for the first time on the Cape, they hit the threshold with testing enough mosquitoes to knowing that EEE is around, that they requested that we should consider spraying. So I took that information to the Board of Health and the Board of Selectmen to let them know whether they wanted to spray. And that area was basically where we're sitting down to Knobsca Light. Down in that area was where we had the 4 positives, and the Board of Selectmen and Board of Health unanimously voted to do selective spraying in that area. And you know, since we've sprayed, we've had 1 positive up over here. Everything's been negative since. That was about 2 weeks ago. This last round from last week was all negative. So, you know, the spraying's hopefully helped knock the population down. And, you know, you do it that way and you hope for the best. Right now we're at moderate risk. We've been moderate risk from when we first detected mosquitoes in August. There's remote, which we usually are. There's low risk, moderate, high, and severe. So right now we're at moderate. We haven't changed. We will not go down. You don't go down once you get to a highest or whatever level you get to. You can only get to a more severe level. You can't go back down. So until the first frost, and the mosquitoes are considered knocked out. Now they are lower definitely in population with some of the cool nights we've had, but until the first frost, that risk is still considered moderate, and people should still take the precautions of not getting bit by mosquitoes, emptying standing water in their yards, checking their screens, just taking the general precautions you would in August and September, in October until the first frost. Concerned citizens can call the Falmouth Health Department. It's 495-7485. Direct questions about maybe some stagnant water that they see or ponds, some concerns they have, they could call the Cape Cod Mosquito Control Project directly. If there's sort of specific concerns about treating something that maybe a neighbor has an old pool that's been abandoned and they really think it should have been treated, they can call the Cape Cod Mosquito Control Project directly, because that's all I'm going to do is call them for you. So you can also talk to them. You can call us or them and we'll get to the same point.
For more information on how you can limit your exposure to EEE, go to the town's website, www.falmouthmass.us. Thanks to Jeff Wyman for that important information. It's time now for 3 Things from Town Hall, FCTV's condensed version of the takeaways from recent municipal meetings. Selections are chosen based on community impact.
In the last Board of Selectmen's meeting, the Solid Waste Advisory Committee gave a report highlighting 9 recommendations that the committee suggests will improve solid waste collection in Falmouth. Among these are a recycling IQ kit and a position in town dedicated to solid waste.
And then there are also other issues with the waste management facility, addressing the swap shop needs and improvements, monitoring the contracts with haulers of materials from the waste management facility. No one looks at that. Right now, we are renting something that's not being used. Hello? What's with that? So there are a lot of little things like that accumulate and cost the town money.
The Selectmen also heard presentations from 6 petitioners that have articles on the fall 2019 town meeting warrant. Articles ranging from a plastic bottle ban to making the old senior center location a new space for a Falmouth Veterans Service Center were heard. There was no deliberation or voting for the articles at this meeting. The Selectmen will make recommendations on these articles in a future meeting.
Our municipal bottle ban initiatives are focused on promoting municipal policy that addresses single-use plastic by eliminating the purchase of single-use plastic bottled beverages by towns and prohibiting the sale of beverages in single-use plastic containers on town property. We are actively engaged with many towns to promote behavioral changes in favor of reusables and alternatives to plastic when needed.
As I read the article, it is outlining the town from buying plastic bottles or them to be sold on town-owned property. It has nothing to do with private industry, private businesses. It's just what the town does.
If the event was on a town property, it would also include. So
Right, but if it's on town property-
No sale on town property.
But it would have nothing to do with what Stop and Shop does.
Correct.
A representative from Eversource made a presentation to the Selectmen regarding the use of double poles in Falmouth. The presentation explained what is on a utility pole and exactly how many poles are in Falmouth. The representative explained how double poles are in town and how many Eversource plans to take down and replace. The Selectmen voiced their frustration with Eversource regarding the past when response to complaints and questions from the board have gone unanswered.
He was pretty clear saying, when we asked him, why is ours 84 and Barnstable was 12? Some number like that. He said, unbelievable, because I would think that size-wise that Barnstable might have more. Oh, that's just because of the way that we collect the data. And so now to hear this is a little bit...
Yeah, it could, to me, the number is, it all depends on what's happened in the town.
To see the meetings in their entirety, check out Government Channel 15's program schedule at fctv.org. We turn now to this month's calendar segment. The 3rd annual Kerwin-Murray Tour de Falmouth charity bike ride benefiting the Falmouth Homeless Prevention Program is Sunday, October 6th. Go to tourdefalmouth.org for more information. Spend a beautiful fall day at historic Bourne Farm in North Falmouth on Saturday, October 12th for the annual Pumpkin Day event. Pick your own pumpkins and enjoy other family-friendly activities from 9 o'clock a.m. to 3 o'clock p.m. The annual Cape Cod Marathon and Relay is on Sunday, October 27th, beginning at 8:30 a.m. with the Kids Fun Run starting at 9 a.m. Check out capecodmarathon.com for more details. Here at the Falmouth Community Media Center, FCTV will be hosting our monthly open mic night, Poetic License, on Thursday, October 24th at 7:30 p.m. Participants are invited to share their original poetry, story, comedy, spoken word, or acoustic solo performance in a 5-minute time slot. And finally, stop by the gallery at FCTV to view the exhibit entitled A Family Thing by Muti Artography. The exhibit runs through October 30th. We're going to take a quick break to look at an adoptable cat from People for Cats. And when we return, we'll stop by Falmouth's Emergency Preparedness Fair. Stay with us.
Rudy is a handsome orange tabby domestic short-hair male. This fellow is a lively 14-year-old young senior who is in excellent health. He's a total sweetheart who adores attention and readily rewards you with purrs and headbutts. He also has no trouble telling you if he wants a bit more affection or maybe some food. Rudy came to PFC when his previous owner passed away. This guy is the total package in terms of a loving companion cat. However, he does have a bossy streak and probably would do best with a cat-savvy owner who will not give in to his demands. For more information, contact People for Cats at 508-540-5654 or www.peopleforcats.org.
Welcome back. The annual Emergency Preparedness Fair was held at Falmouth's Gus Canty Center on September 21st, featuring displays and information designed to inform families on how to prepare for emergencies of all kinds. FCTV was there to check in with some of the local agencies who serve and protect our town.
Hi, I'm Kim Strom. I'm the Assistant Emergency Management Director for the town of Falmouth, and we're here at our 7th Annual Emergency Preparedness and Fire Prevention Fair. As you can see around us, there are some amazing organizations that are providing valuable information not only about being prepared for natural and man-made disasters, but also assisting families in their own personal preparedness. So we have over 70 organizations here today, and we offer free pizza and free hot dogs. There's a fabulous touch-a-truck as well with a lot of emergency vehicles up in the parking lot, and we're just so happy that everyone has come out today to get the information that's going to be valuable to them in the event of an emergency.
This is a siren!
The Falmouth Service Center is the community's food pantry, but we're much, much more than a food pantry. We offer all sorts of services to people in the Falmouth area. We all know that many people in this community are one paycheck away from needing help. We could be on either side of the counter any day, either being a recipient of our services or providing our services.
We do a bite wing, we do a photograph, we do fingerprints, and we do a DNA sample. And we don't keep any of that information. We put it all together and give it to the parents to take home so that if anything should happen to their child, they would be able to be identified.
The Coast Guard Auxiliary is the volunteer branch of the United States Coast Guard. What our charter is to promote boating safety. Today we're here to talk about paddlecraft, how to be safe on the water and not get injured.
Yeah, it's the first time I've ever done it, and it actually went better than I thought. I was a little nervous. I thought it was something good to know, to learn, and the second time I did it was a little bit easier than the first.
So I'm here with Rotary Club of Falmouth, and one of our partner organizations is Shelter Box. It's a non-government organization that provides disaster relief based on needs. And Shelter Box will provide temporary housing and emergency equipment for areas that have been devastated, typically by flood or any other natural disaster.
The National Weather Service is giving out brochures, Skywatcher cloud charts, and we're asking everybody questions about lightning safety. So what's the safest place when you're outside? And most of the kids are giving the right answers. Inside, when thunder roars, go indoors.
We're here to teach people how to be safer during time of emergency. And one of the best ways is to get this free book from the federal government. It's called Are You Ready? It's the most comprehensive book of its kind available today. All you have to do is call 1-800-480-2520.
I would also recommend that you sign up for Code Red, which can be found on the Barnstable County Sheriff's Department webpage. We will be sending out emergency messages through Code Red if necessary. As well, always make sure that your emergency notifications app is active on your cell phones.
One time.
The Falmouth Town website has a wealth of information designed to help you and your family prepare for an emergency. Go to www.falmouthmass.us. Thanks to Andrew Richards for that story. The Falmouth Striper Fest is the biggest fishing party in the Northeast, attracting thousands of fishermen and their families to Marine Park each year. The event serves as the season capping event of the year for striped bass fishermen, and FCTV stopped by to check out the fun.
Hey folks, Chris Megan, publisher and owner of On the Water magazine and media company. We're down here at Striper Fest 2019. This is our 14th Striper Fest, and we're proud to be working with a lot of companies, some local, some national. Locally, we got the Black Dog, good friends of ours, run by the Douglas family. CEO, CFO, Dan Basello's been a partner with us for a long time. It's an incredible event. We have this year's charitable partner is Wings for Falmouth Family. very close to us. We're a local company right here in Falmouth. Started at the Enterprise newspapers back in 1996, and we broke away back in 2005. My original partner, Bill Huffs, today is still the owner and publisher of the Enterprise newspapers. Last year we had 3,900 folks sign up for our tournament. This year we went to an all catch and release fishery, and we actually added 900 fishing folks to this tournament, almost at 4,900. And what happens is this: the tournament goes May 1 through September 13th. At the end of that 20 weeks, everyone's invited to the Striper Festival, and that's what we have here today. We've got just a huge party going on. We'll have 5,000 or 6,000 folks come through. As a local company, it means a lot to us to have this at Marina Park in Falmouth. Yamaha has 12 boats in the water, and they will do 520 plus demo rides.
Yamaha has been a sponsor of Striper Fest for about 10 years now. Previous to that, I was with Lowrance for 10 years sponsoring the Striper Fest. I got to tell you, this is one of the greatest events of our season. The consumers come out. We've got boats in the water that we give demo rides on. The excitement of giving away a boat motor and trailer at this event around 5 o'clock this evening just builds and builds and builds. You couldn't find a better place this time of the year. We've had some bad weather, but this year we're in the 70s, clear blue skies, a little breeze. It's an opportunity to come out and see all of our sponsors.
We love being part of the event. It's a great event for the community, the fishing community that I'm a small piece of. But you know, it's a time of year, September. You get a lot of the locals out. You get a lot of people from the area that enjoy the fishing. The fishing's really good this time of year. Been working with the on the water guys. We have a lot of crossover with customers and even employees. We have 2 spouses that work for our company, and their spouses work for on the water. And Chris Megan and Neil have been friends of mine for a long time. So we're just happy to be part of it and watch it grow and see the same people and customers that come back year after year. It's just a great way to spend a Saturday in September in Falmouth, right here on the harbor.
Striped bass fishing season may be over, but there is still plenty of fishing on the Cape before the really cold weather sets in. Thanks to Eileen Preston for that coverage. National Night Out is an annual community building campaign that provides a great opportunity to bring police and neighbors together under positive circumstances. FCTV stopped by Falmouth Police Headquarters for the event earlier this week.
We're celebrating tonight our annual National Night Out open house of the police department. Normally the National Night Out is held, it's usually held in August, but they also hold an event in October. And because of this year, with the construction of the new senior center and the parking, we decided to hold it here in October. So this is the first time we've had it in October, and it's been wonderful. We've had a great turnout, and we even have a little fall theme going on. We've got some pumpkins and corn stalks, and we've even got cider and apple cider donuts. What it's all about is it's bringing the community together with the police department, so they get to see the police officer other than when they get called for a crime at their home or an accident. And it gives the officers also an opportunity just to talk to the community. And again, we don't just make it about the police department. You've seen the sheriff's departments here with their canines. They brought their command center. We also have, the sheriff also brought his boat. We also invite the fire department, so there's fire engines here. So again, and the DPW, of course. We know they brought a front end loader and a 10-wheeler. We're making it a true community event.
And really, it's all the vendors here. Everything you see that's here, all this food that's given out and everything, is all done by the community of Falmouth. We have restaurants, local restaurants, major restaurants, Papa Gino's, Supreme Pizza, Steve's Pizza, Jack and the Beanstalk, Smitty's Ice Cream, Eat Your Heart Out Catering. All this food here is all donated by these organizations to give out to the people. And all these vendors here over to the side, they're all from different agencies and banks and private companies, all come here on their own time to just greet people from Falmouth and you know, have something to eat and break down those walls of communication. And that's what it's all about.
You know, it's just what I said. It's a community event. That's why the fire department's here, the DPW's here, and everything else. And again, we couldn't thank everybody, for their time and donating everything. But again, it wouldn't get all together here if it wasn't for Sergeant Guthrie, as well as the other men and women of the Falmouth Police Department who are here tonight to assist.
absolutely. I have a ton of officers here who help set all this stuff up, and each one of them have volunteered their time to be part of this community liaison group, and they're all out here just to be with the community.
So happy to have everybody here. Happy to have you here to cover it, and we look forward to next year.
2019 is the 36th anniversary of National Night Out. Thanks to Chris Smallis for that story. Horizons for Homeless Children is the Commonwealth's leading organization devoted exclusively to serving homeless children. FCTV visited one of their place-based program locations in Falmouth to learn about how this valuable organization serves children from birth through age 6.
My name is Megan Schaefer, and I am the Place-Based Program Director for Horizons for Homeless Children. Horizons for Homeless Children improves the lives of young children experiencing homelessness across Massachusetts and their families. We do this through access to early education, opportunities for healing play, and support services for their family. Homelessness is an issue that affects us all and affects more children than you think. 2.6 million children across the United States will experience homelessness this year. Here in Massachusetts, just this past year, more than 18,000 children under the age of 6 were homeless. Many people, when they think of homelessness, they don't think of children, and they don't think of Cape Cod. But here in Falmouth, we have both homeless children and families experiencing it right in our backyard. We work with 2 shelters in the Falmouth area, who together support over 30 families and more than 40 to 50 children each and every day who are experiencing homelessness right here in our community. It's a big issue that most of us do not realize exists. It's affecting infants, toddlers, preschoolers, and kids right here. In fact, 1 in 24 children in Massachusetts will experience homelessness in their lifetime now. That means someone at your local school or place of worship that you know has already experienced homelessness. We partner with family homeless shelters here in Falmouth to design our play spaces, which are playrooms with toys and materials to help and support the children in their healing and education. In these play spaces, we bring in volunteers to provide healing play opportunities, things like Play-Doh and bubbles and board games, reading books, all things that should be a part of childhood but don't always happen when you're living in a shelter environment. These playrooms are open to children throughout the week through 2-hour volunteer shifts that our volunteers staff to help the children learn, grow, and thrive, as all children deserve to be able to do. Horizons for Homeless Children works with the community to help support the families that we work with. We are 29% state and federally funded, but 71% funded by people in local communities and organizations who help us do the good work we do each and every week, both through monetary and donations of new toys and materials to make this all happen. If you would like to get involved and support Horizons for Homeless Children and our work here in Falmouth, you can join us at our next new volunteer orientation on Wednesday, October 23rd, 6 to 9 p.m. at the Bourne United Methodist Church. We need volunteers here in Falmouth to help support the children and families who are experiencing this issue. All you need to do is love kids and want to play, and you can make a big difference.
For more information about Horizons for Homeless Children, or to register for the place-based program, volunteer orientations, check out horizonschildren.org. Thanks to Andrew Richards for that story. We're going to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll stop by a special Falmouth Education Foundation event. Stay with us.
Hello, I'm Lee Geisiger of Vagabond View Photography and chairperson of Arts Falmouth. Arts Falmouth is an umbrella organization created to celebrate, sponsor, and promote visual performing and literary arts and artists in and around Falmouth. We aim to foster a creative economy that will strengthen both the arts and the business community. Arts Falmouth is celebrating its 15th year as an integral part of the Falmouth community, and we're proud to once again showcase the arts through our flagship events across what we call Art for All Seasons. This past spring, the Trad Stroll, Trad for traditional music, kicked off the art season in Woods Hole with Celtic, old-time, folk, roots, Renaissance, and medieval music and dance from lively fiddle tunes to intricate harmonies on ancient instruments as artists painted and artisans showed their wares. There was music throughout the restaurants, the Woods Hole Historical Museum, the Woods Hole Library, Martha's Vineyard Bank, and the Community Hall. Despite the cold weather that we had at the end of April, we had a great turnout with enthusiastic crowds. Arts Falmouth is proud to continue our collaboration with the Falmouth Village Association in producing our other two events of 2019. The first was Arts Falmouth Arts Alive at the end of June. Arts Alive, a perennial favorite at the start of summer, is a free 3-day celebration of the arts in Falmouth and the Upper Cape. Arts Alive took place in the heart of Main Street, Falmouth, at the Library Lawn, Peg Noonan Park, and Shore Street Extension. The festival featured over 60 performances of theater, spoken word, dance, and music for all tastes: jazz, classical, folk and fiddle, pop and rock music. The town dance on Friday night featured Michael Senna with Sly Resolve, and the Rock Fest on Saturday night featured perennial favorite Puffy Elvis. Over 50 artisans and craftspeople displayed and sold their wares throughout the festival. The third event, coming up around the corner, right in the prime time of autumn, is the Jazz Stroll in October. Again, Arts Falmouth is partnering with Falmouth Village Association to feature the Jazz Stroll as part of Falmouth Village's month-long Jazztober celebration on Saturday, October 19th. This free jazz stroll is in the park and shops along Main Street, Falmouth Museums on the Green, and Queens Byway. Fall for jazz. We would like to thank our 2019 sponsors: Falmouth Road Race, the Falmouth Village Association, Cape Cod 5, Martha's Vineyard Savings Bank, Art Week, Woods Hole Foundation, Mass Cultural Council, Rand Atlantic Realty, and Cape Cod Foundation. Check Arts Falmouth out at artsfalmouth.org or on Facebook at Arts Falmouth. We thank you for your continued support as we continue to support the arts.
Welcome back. The Falmouth Education Foundation supports and enhances educational excellence in Falmouth's public schools by awarding annual grants for innovative programs that are outside the district's budget. The Coonamessett Inn was the host for a showcase of recent projects funded by the FEF.
This is one of my favorite FEF events. This is our annual showcase of projects. It's called FEF Donations in Action. And what we're trying to do is to show our donors and our town where their donations have gone and the impact that their donations have had. So we have grantees talking with such enthusiasm about what they've done with their FEF grants. Tonight we had 5 grantees across the schools and content areas, and we had a special presentation of 2 high school age slam poets. Krista Hennessy, who's also a grantee, brought a couple of kids. So it was quite a wonderful night for us.
I'm so appreciative of FEF, the Falmouth Education Foundation, that has allowed me the opportunity to experience Sophocles' Antigone and composing and creating masks and tragedies, going to the Museum of Fine Arts and making it real in their own lives, showing them that a tragedy isn't just something that is sad, but something that involves and embodies suffering, great suffering, and a discovery or enlightenment of wrongdoing. And that's why I love FEF, because they have allowed my students and me to work together on this goal.
So I'm extremely grateful to Ellen Barol and the entire FEF Foundation. The opportunities our students have to be so creative in the classroom and outside of the classroom really is contributed to the creativity our teachers have and the support that the FEF gives to them in order to have those opportunities to be creative with the students. So this is hands-on creativity, expression that students wouldn't have the opportunity otherwise, and so we very much appreciate all the help.
Since 2006, donations have funded over $1 million worth of FEF projects. Thanks to Ryan Weber for that story. FCTV wants you to know that television can be as easy as hitting record on your smartphone. We'd like to invite all Falmouth residents and visitors to share their slice of life with us. Email us your photos and videos or upload them to Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram using the hashtag MyFalmouth or Falmouth in Focus to be featured on the show. Thank you to our most recent contributors. We leave you now with the sights and sounds of the stickwork sculpture, A Passing Fancy at Highfield Hall. Thank you for watching Falmouth in Focus. We'll see you next time.